What's going on, everybody? James Coe here with you, aka the Sleeper King. We're talking about deep sleepers, aka guys who are on the waiver wire probably right now. Waivers have run. So can you pick up off the wire right now to help your squad? Come to the right guy, man. We're talking about the Sleeper King. Trying to find some deep sleepers for you out there that you could play and plug in into your lineup and potentially help you if you are in a bind. All right, number one, I want to start in Green Bay. Same guy that I talked about last week in Dontavian Wicks. I know he didn't come through last week. You know, it's funny. I don't think anybody came through last week. My God, the scores in the NFL last week were pretty severe, to say the least. Not good. And Dontavian Wicks, among a lot of stars, did not play very well. Anyways, I really like him this week. You know why? Because he's playing in Dallas. I mean, Dallas is their cheeks. Let's be real. Dallas not good. Dontavian Wicks is out there quite a bit. He's playing that primary slot role there for Green Bay. And I think Green Bay is going to be looking for blood. Look, last week was a tough spot, right? Like they're playing Cleveland. Cleveland is doing their thing defensively. Defensive line was all over Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. Nobody got anything going in that Green Bay Packers offense at all. It was an ugly, ugly, ugly game. This week they take on Dallas, potentially the worst. I honestly think they have to be the worst defense in the NFL. I mean, they've surpassed like Carolina and those teams. You know what I'm saying? Dallas, the worst defense in the NFL. It's a get right game for everybody. I mean, shoot, even Chicago, who had been struggling for the first couple of weeks, they go take on Dallas and everyone's scoring. Everybody's scoring. Rome Odunze scoring. DJ Moore scoring. Everybody's scoring, man. I think Dontavian Wicks is a really good opportunity to do some things this week, which should be a lot of fun. Okay. I also like another slot receiver there in Christian Kirk. He's taking on Tennessee. Guys, I don't know if you guys know this, but Christian Kirk saw a ton of volume. A ton of volume in his first game back from injury. 11 targets for Christian Kirk. Now, look, he only had 3 grabs for 25, which is why he's on the free agent pool right now and he wasn't picked up. But he ran the second most routes. He took home 8 targets in that game, right? So 8 targets for Christian Kirk, 3 grabs for 25 yards. But 8 targets, that's pretty good. We're talking about a guy that's, if he's on the waiver wire, that saw 8 targets in his first game back, and he's playing the vast majority of the snaps there for the Houston Texans. Look, the offense is not that great. Yeah, I see. Wicks has burned me so many times. Dude, I hear you, bro. This from the great J.J. Zacharyson. Ran the second most routes at wide receiver for Texas, capturing a 22% target share. That's really good. These are healthy numbers. Let me tell you something. These are healthy numbers. Should you drop Leggett? Of course you should drop Leggett. Hey, and listen, I feel bad, man. I think week 1 I came on this stream. I was like, hey, yo, Xavier Leggett, if he's out there, go pick him up. I was wrong. I did not realize that Leggett was going to regress the way he has. He's going to regress to the point where Hunter Renfrow, who was like selling insurance last year, like off the couch, is outperforming Xavier Leggett. I mean, come on, man. I don't know what is going on. Anyways. Okay, so yeah, Christian Kirk is a solid streaming sleeper this week. He's taken on Tennessee, and can I say this too? The Titans are dead last in yards allowed to the slot, but they're also third worst in terms of completion rate allowed and yards per attempt, meaning not only they're giving up a lot of completions, which is what you want from your PPR, slot merchant, but also they're giving up big plays out of the slot as well. Right, so Christian Kirk, who has been known to be a speed slot guy, I think is a really interesting play here against Tennessee. At the very least, I think he deserves end of the bench status for those folks who are in deeper formats. If you're in a 14-team league, Christian Kirk should be rostered. You know what I'm saying? Find a space for Christian Kirk. If you're in a 12-teamer, this is this is more of like let's make a play for the future. Let's see if he pops off. Let's see if he pops off here in week number 4. And you're getting ahead of the curve before he actually has a big game, and then you got to spend fab money or burn away for wire priority and stuff like that. Okay. Jalen Coker is coming off of IR. Guys, this one's a quick one, okay? Because I told you about Jalen Coker last week too. He's coming off of IR after this week. If you're a smart, savvy manager, you're going to go pick this guy up. Before we get to any of these other guys, you're going to go pick up Jalen Coker, and you're going to throw him into your IR spot because he's still technically on IR. Then you can go and pick up a different dude. See what I'm saying? Smart, savvy managers might go pick up Jalen Coker right now, stick him on the IR, and then pick up a different player. I'm just saying. And then what we can do is, depending on which platform you're on, you could still keep him on IR for week 5, right? We can still keep him on IR for week 5 and just leave him there. And if he does anything, then we got to activate him, take him off of IR, and drop somebody else. But if he doesn't do anything, that's fine. We can still drop him there from the IR spot too. I'm just saying, this is a little bit of roster management. We're playing around a little bit, but I think Jalen Coker is a really interesting add for Carolina because they traded away Adam Thielen. There's a bunch of slot reps available. Hunter Renfrow, as I mentioned, had a really good garbage time game in week number 2. And then last week kind of came back to earth, right? So I think when Coker comes back, he's going to play flanker. He's going to play slot. He's in a really good spot overall to potentially outkick the coverage there. So anyways, okay. So if you guys have questions in the chat, by the way, I see a bunch of people in the chat, man. If y'all want to throw some questions into the chat, I'll get to as many of those questions as possible as well. Okay. All right, hold on. I see some chat questions here. Keenan Allen or Nico Collins, also Trey Benson or Chuba Hubbard from RT. Keenan Allen or Nico Collins. Oh man, have we really come this far with Nico Collins? Yes, we're playing Nico Collins, and I get it. There's a lot of hand wringing there. I'm not worried about Tennessee's defense at all. As a matter of fact, let me pull up some stats here. Tennessee is bottom 12 in regards to production allowed to the outside. We just saw Michael Pittman put up a 19 spot lined up as a primary outside receiver. Obviously did it hyper efficiently, 6 targets, 6 grabs, 73 yards and a touchdown. But again, Devontae Adams tagged him for a 22 spot. I mean, Cortland Sutton got him for 18. So we're talking back to back primary outside wide receivers have posted at least 18 fantasy points against Tennessee. So yeah, man, we want to play Nico Collins for sure over Keenan Allen. At some point, that Keenan Allen gravy train is going to end, guys. You know what I'm saying? Chase or Odunze? Oh my goodness. Look, I love Odunze, but look, chat. I'm not going to get off of like these mega superstars, right? Like these guys that are just absolute, bad boys, you know what I mean? Like I am not going to bench these guys. I just can't do it. I would not be able to handle seeing Jamar Chase on my bench go for 30. Like I literally would quit the game. You know what I'm saying? Like I drop all my players and just quit. Like, I don't know. Like I can't be that guy. Now, hey, if you've got the balls to do it, go for it, man. But I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to give advice to the people because that's what I'm here for, man. I'm here for the people, y'all. I'm here for the people. I'm not going to give the people the advice of saying, hey, listen, we got to sit down Jamar Chase. I know Joe Burrow's out and I can't do it. I just cannot do it, man. By the way, the week 3 matchup against Minnesota, that was really, really tough. So, I think Jake Browning's going to have better days ahead. It's a really tough matchup. Minnesota's playing really good football defensively right now. Brian Flores is in his bag, man. He's in his bag. So, yeah. Again, absolutely, you got to play Chase there. Okay, let me get to one more question. Then I get back to my list here. This is from Hot Mike. I got offered JT for Rashee Rice. I'm so confused, bro. Like when you say JT, I'm only thinking Jonathan Taylor. Like who else is JT? Like JT Sanders? That dude's injured. There's no way you're talking about him, right? Bro, I don't even know. Wait, somebody's offering you Jonathan Taylor for Rashee Rice? Like my brain is melted here. Like I can't even imagine that's a trade. Somebody is offering you Jonathan Taylor for Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice isn't supposed to be back for a couple games, like three more games. What? Dude, I'm so confused, man. Yes, if somebody's offering you Jonathan Taylor for Rashee Rice, of course you take that. What are you talking about? Automatic hit. D. White, Marks or Corum? Marks or Corum? He said Jonathan Taylor. Yes. Wow, that's insane. Bro, that's going to get vetoed in your league. Hot Mike, that's going to get straight up vetoed. Like, I don't know what is going on there, but that just smells like collusion. Obviously, it's not because you're off. You're saying somebody offered it to you, but damn, I would I would not allow that trade to go through. I just would not. That's crazy. Marks or Corum for I'm assuming for this is a bench stash here. Marks or Corum. We're gonna get to this question actually a little later in the stream. So you know what? Let's save that one. Okay, so we got Dontavian Wicks, Christian Kirk, Jalen Coker. Man, as you guys could tell, I've been doing a lot of research on slot receivers this week, but I do listen, I do think Parker Washington is a solid ad. Parker Washington is a super solid ad. I conflated his stats with Christian Kirk's, maybe because they're both former slot receivers for the Jacksonville Jaguars. But no, Parker Washington saw 11 targets last week, y'all. Why is he sitting on the waiver wire? There's no one that gets double-digit targets that should be sitting on the waiver wire, period. 11 targets last week. De'Ami Brown is hurt now for Jacksonville. I know he plays outside, but he gets some slot reps in there too. It opens up a little bit more snap share for Parker Washington. Opens up a little bit more target share for Parker Washington. And last week he saw 11 targets. Now, again, it wasn't a big number from a PPR perspective, 4 grabs for 34 yards. So not a big splash. I get it. That's why he's out there. But if we're talking about post waiver wire pickups, this guy's got to be near the top of the list, man. This guy can play, too, by the way. This guy can play. And lost in this whole BTJ, drama with Trevor Lawrence. Oh, Trevor Lawrence is cheeks. Like, he can't play. He can't throw it to BTJ. Actually, I would say, man, like, honestly, the offense in Jacksonville, other than Brian Thomas Jr., actually looks good. Liam Cohen is scheming these guys open, and Trevor Lawrence is hitting them. It's just such a weird oil and water type of situation right now with Brian Thomas Jr. and Trevor Lawrence. I think that's going to get resolved. But when I watch Jacksonville's offense, everyone other than Brian Thomas Jr. is doing their job. Right? Brenton Strange, eaten. Parker Washington, eaten. I would just say let's be a little bit more patient here. And I do think Parker Washington is worth the ad. Augusto, what's up, man? I see you in the chat. Kamara, Taylor, Javonte Williams. Oh, dude, bro, you got one of these questions? I don't even know what you're asking me here. Oh, there's the question right here. Would you trade Kamara and Keenan for Hall and BTJ? Would you trade Kamara and Keenan for Hall and BTJ? I think you're getting more upside with Hall and BTJ. I will say that. I think Keenan Allen's going to come back to earth, and I am a little bit worried that Kamara, with the usage that he's getting, might see a little bit of a drop-off too. So, yeah, I actually make that move 100%. And I know for the first 3 weeks, Kamara and Keenan have been the guys, but I'm just saying, I'm taking a look forward. Breece Hall's a beast. BTJ's a beast. You figure something's going to work here, right? So, yeah, I would go ahead and say Hall and BTJ for sure. Meja, what's up, man? Good to see you. Blake, trade Kittle, Worthy, and Tet for Jamar. I'm assuming you mean Jamar Chase. Kittle's on IR. Worthy is whatevers. Tet McMillan is a really, really good player, but yeah. If you need W's right now, I'm trading him for Jamar for sure. Yeah, why not? Look, Worthy to me is just a guy. Worthy's a bit player in an offense that right now that is absolutely on the struggle bus. So yeah, no, I like that trade quite a bit. If you're getting Jamar Chase, Blake, tell me you're talking about Jamar Chase. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know. That's really interesting. If you're getting Jamar Chase, go ahead and sign me up. Okay, let me get back to some of these deep sleepers here. Okay, so we've got a bunch of slot receivers: Dontavian Wicks, Christian Kirk, Jalen Coker, Parker Washington. Man, this is where I start making my money, though. All right, let me talk about some deep sleeper running backs here. Let me talk about some deep sleeper running backs. I really like Kamani Vidal as a stash and see kind of guy. Obviously, Najee Harris got put on season-ending IR. And Hassan Haskins, Kamani Vidal has been a healthy scratch. He hasn't been playing. He's been on the practice squad, right? And you're thinking, well, it must be Hassan Haskins. Nah. Hassan Haskins does not have that juice. Now, the reason I think Kamani Vidal was a healthy scratch is because he doesn't play special teams, right? Hassan Haskins is going to be a short yardage thumper. He is a guy that, if you need a third down back in short yardage situation, okay, we can go to Hassan Haskins. But if we're talking about who pairs the best with Omarion Hampton, to me, it's Kamani Vidal. I'm telling you guys, this guy can play. Now, I know he's been buried in the depth chart, and they brought in Najee for some veteran leadership. They brought in Omarion Hampton because he's an exciting young player. I get it. But Kamani Vidal can play. He's got some explosive traits to him, and I think he's a much, much more versatile running back than Hassan Haskins. He's got better multi-use skill set than Hassan Haskins for sure. So again, if we're talking about a pass catching role, and that's important too, by the way, for this Chargers team that's just pass crazy, shoot, man. Go ahead and give me Kamani Vidal. All right. Last player here. What about Cool Joe? Cook the pack. Talking about Joe Flacco? He didn't cook the pack. You did not cook the pack. Yo, let me tell you something. Joe Flacco did not cook the Packers. Okay? Quarterback wins. That's not a real stat, my guy. The defensive line cooked the Green Bay Packers. Myles Garrett and the boys cooked the Green Bay Packers. Jim Schwartz was in his bag, let me tell you what, for the Green Bay Packers. All right, last player here, and we'll get to some of your questions, bro. Let's talk about Woody Marks. He played 50% of the snaps. He had nine carries for Nick Chubb, 6 carries for Woody Marks. Now, we are seeing his playtime go like this. Bop, 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 bop. I'm not saying he's going to overtake the backfield. I don't believe that to be the case. But we do know that Chubb is coming off of a major injury. And I'm going to be quite frank here, man. Like, Chubb is not running that well. I'm also curious to see if the Houston Texans continue to run man gap more than they run outside zone. If that's the case, I like it a little bit better for Nick Chubb. But if they start to slowly transition, and there is some of this too, like the offensive coordinators from LA, right? If they run a little bit more outside zone, I like Nick Chubb a lot more. Again, if you guys know my work, you guys can find my work either at receptionperception.com or my own site, sleeperkingfootball.com. I actually own both sites, but whatever. But yeah, if you go to sleeperkingfootball.com, I did charting on 12 of the top rookies, and Woody Marks was one of the guys I charted. He was absolutely terrific running to the outside. Inside, not so much. And his major problem is the fact that he cannot pass block. Like, his pass blocking is atrocious. Was the worst I saw at the college ranks last year. Was horrendous. But man, you get the ball in his hands, let this guy work. Explosive player, super explosive player, great at breaking tackles. And yeah, man, I really like Woody Marks with the ball in his hands. Just don't ask him to pass block. So again, that's a big reason why I don't think that he will overtake Nick Chubb straight away. But if it becomes a 50-50, even 50-50 split where Marks is getting more of the passing work, sign me up. Sign me up. I do think that in full point PPR, Woody Marks is obviously worth a ad. So, and again, I don't know if he's out there on the waiver wire. He was a pretty hot ad, I think, this past week. But that being said, I think he is available. Certainly in I want to say more than 50% of leagues out there. I know Kamani Vidal is like 0% roster, and all these other dudes are widely available because I have a 14 team league, big money league, high stakes. And all these dudes are available. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them are available on the waiver wire. So there you go. Okay, Corey Ritchie, Drake May, or Jackson Dart at QB2. Oh, Drake May, not a question. I want no piece of Jackson Dart. I want no piece of the Giants' offense in general. Yeah, I think Blake's got it right. He says May. Yeah, I think that's right. Maja, what are you looking for? We don't have to look for? Dude, I don't understand the question, brother. I'm sorry. Quentin Johnson, the spelling's got me all screwed up. Is Quentin Johnston for Chuba Hubbard a good trade? I would rather have a running back than a wide receiver, but if you're set at running back, yeah, I think Quentin Johnston is fair value for sure. But I would still much rather have a running back than a wide receiver. And not only that, I know Johnston is running hot right now. Man, I just look, and he made improvements last year, but I don't know, man. Like at some point, those hands are going to become an issue, man, for sure. Is Kincaid a good start this week? I don't know. Look, Kincaid's a good player. I honestly think that Kincaid is a good player, but he's just inconsistent because they throw to 15 guys there in Buffalo, right? Like, that's kind of what annoys me is the fact that there's just so many dudes who touch the rock. He's taken on New Orleans. I'll take a look at the matchup real quick. And New Orleans is below average in defending tight end. So, yeah, you have something there. But I don't know if I don't know what you would consider to be a good start. He is a volatile, touchdown dependent tight end, just like most tight ends, to be fair. But is he a locked and loaded top 8 tight end moving forward? I wouldn't say that. All right, let me get to some more of these chat questions here real quick. Alex Jones, this is from Jay Alex. Daniel Jones or Geno Smith this week? I have Jaden Daniels. Daniel Jones. Dan Jones is playing out of his mind. We're playing Daniel Jones, baby. Kaleem, trade Swift and Higgins for Judkins. Swift and Higgins for Judkins? That's I think you're giving up too much. Look, I love Judkins, but Cleveland's offense is not very good. What's the touchdown upside for Quinshon Judkins? I don't think it's very high. I know Higgins did absolutely nothing with Jake Browning there last week against Minnesota, but that's Minnesota. Again, better days are ahead for T. Higgins. And Swift, while we don't love Swift, he's getting a lot of work in Chicago. And I think Chicago's offense is on the way up too. So would I trade Swift and Higgins for Judkins? No. I would trade T. Higgins for Judkins straight up. I would trade Swift for Judkins straight up. But I think you're giving up. I think you're just giving up too many assets there for a player in Judkins who is playing a Cleveland offense that's just not very good. Adam W., would you trade Pollard and Walker for Ginty? Pollard and Walker? No. Oh my God, no. 2 starting running backs for a running back in Ginty who has tremendous upside, but the coaching staff can't figure it out. By the way, guys, did y'all know that there's a crazy Nepo baby situation happening with the Raiders? Brennan Carroll, like Chip Kelly, lost in all this Ginty stuff is that, okay, so Chip Kelly's the OC. You know who the run game coordinator is? It's Pete Carroll's son. Brennan Carroll. 0 NFL experience. He's the O-line coach, which, by the way, the O-line play has been atrocious for the Raiders. He's the O-line coach. I just charted Ginty. If y'all want to go check that out. Again, sleeperkingfootball.com or if you have a subscription to receptionperception.com, you can go check it out there. But I did just chart Ginty, and Ginty looks great. Ginty's fine. Explosive, fluid, like whatever Ryan Clark and Chris Sims are saying, I completely disagree. And I'm not saying that they don't know what they're talking about or they haven't watched the film. I'm not saying that. I just completely disagree with what their assessment is of Ashton Ginty. He's very explosive. He is very fluid. His tackle breaking is through the roof right now. It just happens to be he's seeing loaded boxes because no one respects the Raiders pass game. So they're crowding the box. They're throwing 8 guys in there every single play, right? There's unblocked defenders coming in. Unblocked defenders. Why is that? Because the O-line stinks right now. O-line, get a hand on somebody. Get a body. Go hat to hat. Go find some work, man. Like, the O-line for the Raiders right now is real bad. Brendan Carroll is not doing his job. So, yeah, we got a serious Nepo baby situation happening with the Raiders. I don't know if that ends up changing. So that, because it's a Nepo situation, like, I don't see that changing, to be honest. So, no, I would not trade Pollard and Walker for Ginty. No, that's very lopsided. I wouldn't even, funny thing is, I wouldn't trade Walker for Ginty straight up, let alone Walker and Pollard. Oh, my goodness gracious, no. Brian, DeAndre Swift or Jaylen Warren this week? This week, oh, that's a very close one. Let me look at what I got in my matchups here. Okay, the Chicago taking on the Raiders. So pretty decent matchup. Chicago is anticipated to score 25 points, whereas the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're in Europe this week, right? They're in Germany. And the Steelers are anticipated to score 19 points. I'm going to go Swift here. I do think that he's got a little bit of a better game script going against Las Vegas. I could see more rushes in that game, and just an overall higher scoring game is that one than Minnesota-Pittsburgh. The Minnesota-Pittsburgh game, man, that's got a 40.5 total. From the boys in the desert, and the Chicago-Las Vegas game has 48.5. So that's an 8-point difference. That's a lot. Way more shootout potential in Chicago versus Las Vegas. So go ahead and give me DeAndre Swift. All right, let me go back to the YouTube side here real quick. Corey Ritchie, thoughts on RJ Harvey? Look, Corey, so long as J.K. Dobbins is there, Richie is going to be a handcuff. Again, it's a 65-35 split, sometimes worse, in favor of the veteran J.K. Dobbins. So long as Dobbins is there, and by the way, it's not like Dobbins is playing bad. Dobbins is actually playing good. So I really don't see that split changing for the near future. So I would hold on to RJ Harvey because, as we know, J.K. Dobbins is one of the most injury-prone players at that position. But no, I would not be looking to start him or trade for him unless you really feel like J.K. Dobbins is going to get hurt at some point. Ginty for BTJ is a comment that I saw. Ginty for BTJ. That's an interesting one. Both guys are struggling. And they both have similar, preseason ADP as well. To be honest with you, I think I prefer BTJ. I know the chemistry is off. I know the vibes are super off there in Jacksonville, but he's too good of a player, and I think Liam Cohen is too good of a coach. At some point, I think that will kind of sort of level itself off. Drop Tootin or Christian Kirk for Trey Tucker? No. By the way, chat, if y'all are still with me here, man, like if y'all would hit that like and subscribe button, that would be great, man. I would truly, truly appreciate it. Just at least hit the like button, bro. You know what I mean? Like, help a brother out here. Tyler, drop Tootin or Christian Kirk for Tucker? No, I wouldn't do that. I think this is very much a Tucker flash in the pan game. Hey, by the way, I just talked about how they're crowding the box. They're loading up the box, 8 defenders, 9 defenders in the box. They're going single high. Cover 0 sometimes against the Raiders because they don't respect the Raiders wide receivers. That is why That is why Trey Tucker had a big game. It's not always going to be the case. I don't think teams will be that aggressive defending the run moving forward. I don't know. We'll see, but I just don't think so. So I think Trey Tucker against base defense is too high. I just don't. Yeah, I think he's going to come back down to earth. That felt very much like a flash in the pan game for Trey Tucker. He's not a natural separator. He doesn't beat man coverage very well, and he's fast. Hey, listen, he's fast. I just don't think. You know, sustained success for Tucker. Yeah, I don't see it, man. All right, let me get to a couple more questions, and then we'll get the hell out of here. Start Geno or Love. I really like Love this week. I think he has a really nice bounce back week. For sure. I really like Jordan Love. Judy and Charbonnet for Travis Hunter and Judkins. This is from Loyal. Judy and Charbonnet for Hunter and Judkins. Dude, bro, give me the Judkins side 10 times out of 10. Travis Hunter is an interesting player. I don't know how they're going to utilize him. Are they going to ask him to just play wide receiver, or do they feel like they have enough at wide receiver where they're like, hey, man, we really need help on the back end of our defense, because they do. And Travis Hunter might be more impactful for the Jaguars there in the back end of a defense, and which is why I think we're starting to see him play more defensive snaps. Also, he's just not in tune with the playbook right now. They're having him run the most basic ass route tree, but it doesn't matter. I would still prefer the Judkins side, because Travis Hunter does provide a little bit more upside. Charbonnet has no upside to me. And Jerry Jeudy, so long as Cedric Tillman is there, again, not very much upside either. So Hunter, Judkins, like smash accept that side every single time. Jose, should I keep Diggs in my lineup? Well, it just depends. I don't know how deep your roster is. I don't know what guys you have on the bench. Better days are ahead for Stephon Diggs, because he's getting healthier. Remember, he had a major injury, guys. And so, yeah, for him to even be on the football field right now, I think that's a testament to how hard he's been working in the offseason. And so, yeah, no, I like it. I look, keep Diggs on the roster. Should he be in your lineup? That's a different question. I'm not sure who else you've got. Trade Chase Brown for Breece Hall. Yes. I want Breece Hall way more than I want Chase Brown. And I like Chase Brown, the player. But so long as Jake Browning is in there, I think that defenses are going to crowd the box. Dude, no one has been hit behind the line of scrimmage more than Chase Brown. Why do you think that is? First of all, we already know the offensive line is not very good, right? And there's no respect for the pass game, because they're just trying to rush Jake Browning into some kind of hurried throw. So, it's almost like a run blitz. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're playing the run, but they can blitz, get into the backfield. The offensive line stinks. Jake Browning is not good under pressure. So Chase Brown is going to be in it, man. Like, I don't know. I do not know how they get Chase Brown involved, other than, okay, we're just going to set up a bunch of like dump off passes for Chase Brown. I don't know, man. But I would much rather have Breece Hall for those reasons, for sure. Spicy Sponge, bro, I need a tight end. I can't keep starting Loveland. Bro, I've been saying this for weeks. Loveland's not it. Loveland is not it. Like, they got Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet, it's so funny. They bring in Gerald Everett last year as a free agent. They go and court Gerald Everett. And everyone is like, oh, Gerald Everett's a tight end one in Chicago. No, he is not. He's not better than Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet's a damn good player. Again, they drafted Colston Loveland. He's the new tight end one. No, he's not. You know why? Because Cole Kmet can play. They're figuring out 12 personnel right now. Why they went with Colston Loveland ahead of Tyler Warren, I have no idea. I have no clue. They played in the same damn conference. We saw them play. What? Against the same competition. Tyler Warren was so much better than Loveland. What? I don't understand that one, man. By the way, I'm a Big Ten analyst for my my local NBC station here. And I watched a ton of Big Ten football. And anyone who was saying that Loveland had better traits than Warren, I was just flabbergasted, man. I'm like, what are we can't be watching the same players. Cannot be watching the same players. I'm a Big Ten analyst for an on-air Big Ten analyst for freaking my local NBC station here in LA. No, no, there's no comparison. Tyler Warren's a much better player than Colston Loveland. I have no idea. And by the way, what the hell are y'all doing, Chicago? You already have Cole Kmet. You already failed at this experiment last year, Chicago. Bro, I don't even know. I'm going off on a tangent in a rant. I have no idea. Anyways, hey, listen, let me chat. My bad, dude. My bad. Anyways, let me go ahead and wrap up here. And I'll let y'all go, man. I'm a little over my time. It's all good, bro. Let's wrap it up. Okay, let's talk about these six guys that I'm saying are should be available on your waiver wire and you can pick up and that could pay dividends this week. Dontavian Wicks is number one. He's playing Dallas. I love it. Christian Kirk saw 8 targets and is playing Tennessee. Great matchup on paper against the Titans. Jalen Coker, again, smart move is to add him, stick him on the IR, go add another one of these dudes. You know what I'm saying? He's still on IR, but he's coming off of IR after week number 4, allegedly. So I don't know. We'll find out. Parker Washington is a really interesting stash and C guy. Again, 11 targets in week number 3. You don't leave that kind of volume out on the waiver wire. By the way, again, I talked about Travis Hunter. If Travis Hunter plays more defense, guess who gets more work? Parker Washington. Go pick this dude up. He's a good player. Kamani Vidal is a complete stash and C guy. We're not playing him this week. We might not play him next week. But again, Najee Harris on IR. He's got way more multi-variable skill set than Hassan Haskins. And if we're talking about a just straight handcuff to Omarion Hampton, Kamani Vidal, in my opinion, is your guy. Woody Marks is somebody that I charted. And I love Woody Marks as a runner and as a pass catcher. As a pass blocker, a lot left to be desired. If this team goes to a lot more outside zone concepts, Woody Marks will be a great addition, and he played 50% of the snaps, and his snap share continues to go up, and his touch share also continues to go up for the rookie. We want to invest in young players. Nick Chubb, I love. He's a Hall of Famer, but he's getting a little long in the tooth coming off of multiple major injuries to his knees. So Woody Marks is your number 6 player that you can add off the waiver wire right now. All right, there you go, man. That's it. That's it for the chat. I appreciate y'all, man. If I didn't get to a lot of questions this week, I apologize. I went down a rabbit hole and started ranting about Colston Loveland for absolutely no reason. Chicago, what y'all doing? Anyways, we'll see you guys next week. I appreciate everyone tuning in, but till then, we'll see you. Remember, it's never too late to chase your dreams. All right, peace.